I just seen, like people were wilding out for this whole uh, December 21st thing.
Oh yeah.
And at the parties, like coworkers of mine, like, man, yeah, we finna go get twisted, and if I'm going out, I'm going out, this and that, and a lot of people just been talking crazy, not even just like, what I'm saying, like a lot of people that believe in like it was supposed to be the end of the world, just wilding out,
Right.
instead of just trying to go in the right direction. So, I just been hearing a lot of that and stuff. Like one of my coworkers was just talking about, yeah, what I'm saying, we went and smoked and doing this and that and getting drunk and stuff. I'm sitting there thinking like he could tell I ain't want to listen to him and stuff. And but yeah, he was just going on about all that stuff, like what they did all last night, and I'm like, man, y'all ain't got no clue, man.
Shalom.
Shalom, Ma. How's the brother?
I'm doing good. I'm kind of disappointed the word ain't in it yet.
Oh man.
He's disappointed though.
I
I
don't know.
was hoping to see Godzilla by now.
I think the Most High gonna give us a couple more days, maybe. But these they can really get buck wild with it. They put a lot of money into setting everybody up for that day. Just like when they did that Y2K thing, then they blew up them towers, changed the whole game. So I ain't sleeping on them.
You want to know what, brethren? I must say, to me, it seems like they do this sort of thing so that way, just like we see in prophecy, it says that most people are going to be doing their normal everyday life thing. So, once people see that, oh man, this world ain't ended yet, more and more people are going to be more readily available mentally to say, okay, well, I'm just going to go back doing to what I've been doing. Yeah, I got a question.
What you got?
What's up with the whole, because I was looking at a blog earlier, and the whole, I see like a lot of people trying to prepare for all this trouble that's supposed to come. Like, what, is there any scripture that says anything about that?
That said we supposed to prepare?
That we're, like, because I thought that we, like, weren't or something. Like we weren't supposed to.
He talking about prepare as in stockpiling stuff like that.
Like, I mean, like, people like trying to gather up food, water, they getting guns and this and that and all types of stuff.
Important is we need to find out what is the Lord telling us to do so that we can make it through the times that we're about to face. What do he have to say about that? That's what I want to know about. I saw a couple of doomsday shows, and it's like these doomsday people, they like, making all these preparations, trying to live underground, showing you how to roll with one bag, what you need to put in your bag, how you need to roll out. That's all good, but second letters first. We're going to go there a little bit first. 17 says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginnings of famines and great death, beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So now he's saying a couple things here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get another scripture real quick. Get Matthew 24. Verse 1, he said, Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So they showing him the temple and how, crazy and dope and glorious it looked. And they was like, see that? And he's like, yeah, y'all see that? It's like every brick on that junk gonna be broke down. It's gonna be totally destroyed. He says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately. So, they was up to the mountains, they was going about their business, and then, they seen him sitting down, so they walked over to him like, what was you talking about? Like, what's up with that, what you was talking about earlier? He says, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Now, when you look in Luke, the 21st chapter, this is like the same account. And verse 5, it says, and as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, as far as these things which ye behold, the days will come, in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. So it's the same situation, just from a different disciple. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be, and what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? So they asking him about, they wasn't asking them necessarily what was the end of the world, all the way where we at now, but they was asking them when was the end of that world, because they just told him that they knew that if the temple was destroyed, then Israel was going to be jacked up. And so they wanted to know when is the end of the world, or that time. So they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign, and what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, okay, so this is the sign that's going to be when the temple's about to come down. Take heed that ye be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and the time draweth near, go ye not after them. So he was saying back then, like a lot of people take that scripture, especially from Matthew 24th chapter, and saying, so it's many false Christs now. So it was prophesied that it was going to be this time when many false Christs was going to come. So now that's how we know we're in the last day. He wasn't even talking about that. He said, he told them, you disciples, they was like, when is this going to happen? When is this temple going to be destroyed? He's like, take heed that you be not deceived, brothers. He was talking to them. He says, because many going to come back then and tell them that they Christ. He says, and the time draweth near, because he knew that he was going to die. And he knew that after he died, because of the fame and the rep that Christ had, there was people that was going to try to ride off of that, because there wasn't no internet or no TV stations or nothing like that. So you could have went anywhere and been like, yeah, I am him, the one you heard about, and ride off of that for a minute. So he's like, many people going to come and try to say that they me. He says, the time draweth near, go ye not after them. So he says, go ye not after them. But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, don't be terrified, because that got to happen too. So they're going to come trying to perpetrate. And he said, you're going to hear war and commotions. He said, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass. But the end is not by and by. It says, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Great earthquakes shall be in divers places, and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all this, see, he just changed gear on them right there. He just went and told them the whole scenario of what was going to happen at the end. He says, but before all that go down, with the nation against nation and the earthquakes in diverse places, famine, pestilence, the sights in the skies and the great signs from heaven, he says, before all that go down, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.